Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mists of Kren's Valley. When we last left off, the party encountered um, a very quick travel to the town of Valeki. They saw a bunch of possible paths they could go on the road on their way there. One apparently went to some windmill. Another one apparently went to where these goat men and women called the Vistani are at. Apparently, they have a little camp on a dirt road right off the path when they were going from Barovia Valley to Veliki. But the group stayed on their mission of escorting Ismark and Irina to Batra, Batfolk, that are under the ire of the Lord of the Land, the Dark Lord himself, Strahd von Zarovich. Luckily, it is still daytime, so they don't have to worry about him for now. The group went to, when they got to the city, they decided to see what they could buy and sell. They met this interesting fellow, this man named Blinksy, as Mapach, a raccoon folk, who makes toys. A lot of his toys were, well, all of his toys were pretty creepy, but Hemlock and Tim-Tam are switched, but Hemlock got herself a nice little toy, right?
Yeah.
You know, like a Strahd puppet. You know, no big deal.
Nah, it's fine.
And then she made a new friend with Blinksy, and then Saxton interrogated him and learned that the head of the town guard, the main henchman of the Baron of Licky, a man apparently goes by the name of, I already brain farted his name. Isaac, yes. Who had a big giant demon fiendish arm thing going on. Apparently forces the toy maker to buy, or not to buy him, to make him the same doll, but with slight changes. And with each change, it looks more and more like Irina. To the point where the newest one looks pretty much spot on, minus maybe a little bit of a deformity in the nose. So while they were doing that, I think Tim-Tam got lost and then found everybody.
I found Nyhm. I think
when we last left, we were jumping over to Nyhm, trying to sell off the jewels, and Tim-Tam was introduced into the house.
Yes. So we will start there. So as you're sitting in the dining room, waiting for the lady of the house to show up, you notice something as you're sitting there for a bit. A few of the townsfolk knock on the door, and that same maid from before lets them in. They quickly move past you through the dining hall into another room. All of them seem to look at you weary-eyed, and were kind of surprised to just see you sitting there. But none of them questioned you, or were confrontational in any way. And you hear them going down a set of stairs into the basement. Not long after that, maybe a minute or two, that's when, coming down the stairs, or actually, yeah, coming down the stairs, and into the dining room, is this older Vulpin lady. And Vulpins are the fox like race. She's got her fur is kind of dull red, and she you can see her in her eyes a sense of discomfort. More of like I don't know, aloofness, like she does not want to be here. Or in this specific situation. But she's like, yes, my maid said that you wanted to sell me some jewelry.
Quite right. And I've got a fine choice here, including the box that it's held in. Pull them out and set them on the table in front of her.
Well, this is fine jewelry. I won't ask where you got it from. You don't seem to be the type that would craft or buy these. But that does not matter to me. I am willing to buy this jewelry box and the rings. However, might I ask if there's any other reason that you're here? And she looks deep into your eyes, almost through you.
Can't think of any other reason. These were what brought me here to begin with.
No one gave you this jewelry to ponder off on me?
No. Thought you weren't going to ask those questions anyways. I came across them. I decided to sell them. I was directed here.
What do you think of the Baron?
Can't really think much of the Baron. Haven't met him.
I see. Well, you're definitely, as I had expected, someone new to these lands. At least to town. Must warn you, the Baron is evil, and I wish to usurp him. If you would help me in that, I will buy this jewelry off of you.
Is that kind of help going to be lucrative?
Well, you'd make allies with me, who would become the Baroness of this town, and with our Lord Strahd, of course. You look quite capable in dealing with ruffians. If you could get rid of his head henchman, Isaac, for me, it would be very much appreciated. I might even be able to find someone to buy that pendant off of you.
I could probably find something that he may stumble over into.
Well, that's good to hear. When I hear news of that, I shall get you your coin. And with that, I must apologize. I was just getting ready for our annual, well, not annual, our weekly book club. So, I need to get prepared for that. So if you don't mind, here's the door, and I'll send someone to get you with your payment when I hear news of the henchman's disappearance.
Okay. Nyhm scoops up the jewels, puts them back in the bag, and walks out the door. Because payment's not happening until after the coin is changed.
Alright, so as you leave, they are polite. The maid bows to you as you leave and closes the door.
What about Tim-Tam?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what am I. That's why I didn't say anything.
No. I mean, you were in there with me.
Oh,
If I'm
okay.
not mistaken.
I thought that. I wouldn't have said anything. I'm like.
Oh, then they would have also escorted you
Yeah.
out as well.
Okay. So, Tim-Tam.
Mm-hmm.
Could you maybe not mention this little meeting to our friends?
I sure can, but I mean, my beak will stay sealed if I have something shiny to focus on.
Once I can finally pawn these off, we will definitely have the shiny.
That's a deal then.
Wonderful. Now, where are the other two?
I have no idea.
You're on the north end of town.
Close to the.
We're probably west. We should go south. Probably.
Well, Tim-Tam and Nyhm are on the north end of town. I believe
Oh yeah,
Hemlock
I know.
and...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you misunderstand. They're doing that specifically for Tim-Tam. They have no fucking sense of direction. They're not trying to fuck with you on the directions. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's the sun. It's nowhere to be seen. So yeah,
it's pretty clear that there's like a road leading out, and there's the wall, really close, the northern part of the wall bordering the city.
Okay.
Anyway,
are we near the statue?
The statue, no.
Okay. I guess the first thing that we should probably do is head back towards the statue. That's the biggest landmark I can find around here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Saxton and Hemlock, you two are outside.
Tell me about the doll.
You two are outside the toy shop, maybe a block or two away. At this point, what is your two's next move? Are you trying to meet up with the others? You heading back to that Blue Water Inn? Heading to the town square?
Yes, trying to figure out where everyone else is and see what everyone else is doing.
Hello, Saxton. I am Strahd von Zarovich. I'm going to suck your blood. Whoa.
Give me a performance check.
Okay. 21.
Okay. It's pretty good in the sense of like it's corny, but it's like, you know, it's like watching a cult movie from the 80s where you're like, you know, it's bad, but you know, it's still fun to watch.
Campy as hell.
Yeah, but Hemlock's like purposely being very campy, you know. Anyway, so I'll say you all eventually meet up at the town square again.
Hey, looks like we met up at the town square.
Oh.
Towards the biggest area, that's where the statue's at. All the roads kind of lead to it, you know.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
kind of the
really?
reason. Sorry.
I put my hand behind my back and I'm like, are we going to Madame Eva's now?
The gypsy, right?
Oh, the fortune teller.
Yeah, fortune teller, not gypsy. Sorry, that's offensive. Well, I mean, my business here is concluded. Unless you all have anything else to do around town, I can lead us back that way.
No, I'm fine.
Hello,
I've been walking.
Nyhm. This is Strahd von Zarovich.
Nyhm just stares dead-eyed at the doll.
You see Hemlock holding a what was it? What did they call it? Not mannequin.
Ventriloquist puppet?
Yeah, it's a little wooden puppet of this this Batra that's wearing this really nice nobleman attire, and it's got exaggerated frontal canine-like fangs with red eyes. Yeah.
All right, this is what I've been doing with.
I am so sorry.
Well, that's scary.
Looks over at Tim-Tam.
I mean, in a cute way, you know.
Right.
Oh, this is Strahd von Zarovich is not cute. He will suck your blood.
So Nyhm, that route.
Right. So let's go. I can get us there in half the time.
I am not nice.
Aren't
Hold
you
it.
tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit?
You
Hold-
should not say that to Nyhm because she has a 100% chance of stabbing the doll in the face with a knife through
Oh.
your hand.
Was it
I
Colonel
will-
Mustard at least?
Oh, I will put myself away. She puts it in her bag.
Oh, you
That-
scared the vampire.
You scared him. What are you doing?
I can't see this turning and biting us in the ass. No, not at all.
Do you want Strahd to bite you in the ass?
No, I'm saying that because of that doll, he's likely to.
I do not go blah blah blah.
As you all go to leave, you notice the same way you came into the city from the east gate. You notice that in the stockyard there was general store that I forgot to mention.
Where did that store come from?
It was sitting there the
sometime-
whole time.
I don't know. In general, I don't know.
I think I evolved in front of this store like 5 times.
And you still never noticed it.
No.
Hmm.
It's funny how this works.
Indeed.
Right.
So you head out. And as you head out, it is around 12:30ish in the day. You assume it's around noon. There's no real sun to look at. Just there's kind of a bit of light coming through the constant gray clouds up above you.
Are we there yet?
I swear.
It should be quite near, I think.
It was within at least half a day's travel when we were heading towards the city in the first place.
No, but
And-
it
It's
took
about
us like
it's about
2
2 hours
hours.
away. Yep.
yeah.
And thanks to Nyhm and their background, I can get us there in 1 hour.
Wow.
Are you going to cut through the woods and stuff and go off road and just beeline straight to it?
Straight to the gypsy or fortune teller. Yes, sorry, I keep doing that.
All right. So you head through the woods, veering off of the well-treaded path. Well, treaded path. And while you're traveling through the woods, let's see here. Yes, okay. You are traveling through. You notice that the trees here are very old. They're not big trees like the ones you're used to in the wood, but you can just tell from the amount of how rough the bark is on these trees. How it looks like they've been through a lot and have healed over. Some of them, these trees, you can see claw marks very clearly from some large-sized creatures as you're traveling through these woods. Snapping branches and such going through here. You notice that there is little to no noises of birds or squirrels or other wildlife in here. But you do hear movement every once in a while in the woods. Sometimes in the distance you hear the howl of a wolf. Sometimes it's really close. Sometimes it's really far away. But
All of this within an hour.
within 2 hours, yes.
1 hour.
Within a half hour, yes.
Okay, hang on. You remember the Nym's
Yeah, since it
background.
only takes you a half hour, or since it only takes you half the time,
Half the time.
then I'm going through the first half of your voyage right now. So this is
Okay.
the first half hour then.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Sorry about that. I think I got confused there.
Don't worry, we'll still hit the iceberg eventually.
Hemlock has the highest passive perception, so she's the first to notice that she startles a wild-looking figure caked in gray mud, and is clutching a crude stone axe. Words. Whether it's a man or woman, you can't quite tell. You can even tell if they're birdfolk or not. He goes,
Hello. I forgot I had an accent. We're not here to hurt you. We're friends.
"Mah! Mah!" And and they get up, and as they get up, they come off the dirt, and you can see that they are a Jerbeen, but their fur is really matted, and they seem very savage. Their clothes are just rags, really. They're more like cavemen than anything else. And he pops out. He, she, they pop out, and two others pop out. One of them being a servant, one of the deer like people, and another one being a Mapach. And all of them are just covered in this dirt and stuff that they seem to use as camouflage. And the second you interact with them and keep talking with them, they spring up, and instead of attacking you, they all flee and run away from you and go further into the woods.
Oh, that didn't go the way I expected.
They head north as you are heading southeast.
So not back towards the village.
No.
That was weird. Which I'm starting to say that too often, so I guess everything is weird or nothing is normal or whatever.
Starting to think nothing is normal in this part of the wood.
Sure, it is a new normal.
You can give me survival checks if you want.
I think I shall.
Natural 20. 25.
Wow.
16.
Wow.
Natural 1, so that's a 0.
Wow.
That tracks for Tim-Tam.
And 18 for me.
Alright, well, everyone but Tim-Tam
I don't get a
is
wild.
able to conclude that the little spots that they were in looked like they had set up purposely for hunting. Like they did that to hide. And like they were waiting for a deer or something to go get really close to them, and then they'd just come out and swipe it or something. But it was a fairly pre-built hole. You can see they actually like dug it out. They probably used those crude stone axes as their tool to do it. And it looked like they'd been there for, I mean, maybe a day. Maybe not. It was enough that the dew from the forest was still there, but not enough time for bugs to really gather into that hole. So you guys continue your super fast, speedy McFly travel through these woods that are difficult terrain. That you ignore. You eventually arrive at that bridge, that stone bridge from before. And that has the waterfall. Remember, it's at the top of the waterfall. And you cross the bridge, and then you do have to travel on the path some down the ways, and then you decide to hug the river. So the river is on your left, and take it over, because of the Vistani told you that's where they were at. They were at the foot of the falls. So you head that way. And arrive at the camp after an hour of travel. Excluding that little encounter with the crazy people in the dirt. You see deep ruts in the earth on the roads leading out from this encampment as evidence of coming and going of wagons. Like there's a canopy of mist and branches give way as you're traveling through here to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, and next to the river that widens in the form of a small lake of several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are perched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north through the river along the forest's edge.
Colorful.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Nyhm making a comment as they came across it.
You see at the bonfire at least 12 of these Vistani figures. They seem to be, even though it's like in the middle of the day, they seem to have some accordion going, and they don't seem as lively as they did this morning. Most of them are actually passed out drunk. Only 3 of them seem to be conscious.
Classy. Well, we're here. You said you wanted to see the fortune teller, right?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, feel free to go right on ahead.
Okay.
So most of these tents are round tents, but there's one bigger tent that's like more rectangular.
Do I feel like the rectangular one is the one that has the fortune teller in it, or?
As you all move into the camp, and the Vistani notice you, one of them is holding a wineskin of questionable amount of wine left, and says, welcome. I assume you are here for Madame Eva.
Yes.
She's been expecting you. And he just like points the wineskin over at the big tent.
See, she's been expecting us. We should have come earlier. We kept her waiting.
She knew you would have delays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so easy to say that they were expecting us when somebody arrives. It's not like they came out to meet us if they were expecting us or anything.
Would they come if we are going to get here anyway?
You do recall you did encounter some before this.
Right, but...
And they're the ones I told you about Madame Eva to begin with.
This is the whole...
Maybe that was fated to happen.
Yeah, this is Nyhm being extremely skeptical of somebody who could predict the fortune that didn't even happen to meet them face to face. So she's very skeptical.
Why would she have to go and meet you when she already knew when you would arrive? And if you wouldn't arrive, then why would she meet you?
But Nyhm, vampires are real. Why fortune tellers is a weird thing.
She just stares over at you for a brief moment. No real comment, just kind of stares.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nym's gonna stick to the shadows on this one. She's just gonna be, in the background, just observing everything, not really interacting.
So you don't head to the bonfire, you don't interact with any of the Vistani, and you don't go in the tent.
No, Nyhm will stick with the party, but at this point I have a feeling that Hemlock is the one waltzing forward first, headlong into everything. If that makes more sense.
Probably is.
Okay. So Hemlock, you head over to her tent.
Of course I do.
Okay. As you head inside, magic of flames cast a reddish glow. You know what? There could be a greenish glow on the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the old Bachelor lady speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you have arrived. Cackling laughter bursts as mad lightning, or bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. Take a seat, Hemlock.
Oh, you know my name.
Of course. You don't need to worry about Nyhm. It's fine if he doesn't show. I know he's not a... She's not a, social type. It is fine. You are strangers in this strange land. It is understandable to be wary. Did anyone else join in the tent?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Nym's going to be with the party, just hanging back. So she would have overheard all of that.
Yeah, I'll be like near the door of the tent flap inside.
Oh. Well, she wouldn't have said that, because from the way you guys had it, it sounded like Hemlock was the only one going in the tent.
Oh, apologies.
Everyone, please have a seat. Conveniently enough, there's 4 seats for you. All of them seem to be perfectly sized for each of you.
This was a good idea.
Would you
I
like
look
it?
at Nyhm and raise my eyebrows. Come on, sit.
Would you like your fortunes read? As she pulls out a deck of cards and starts shuffling them.
Of course. Right, guys? Right?
Alright.
No, and your future
Yeah.
would be useful in these dangerous lands. Or not. It's up to you.
I really wanted to meet the lady. I'm not sure if I want to meet my fate. Hey, it's gonna be fun. Look, let's do it.
It's an interesting arcane can you have there. Is that the BLX 900 model?
I didn't put a number on it. It has been embedded already.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm a little early. Anyway.
Okay, out of character, you've got my full attention, but in character, Nyhm does not give half a shit.
She pulls out her deck of cards. And as she presents the fortune to you, it goes as follows. Now, I pre-did your fortunes because they take a while. I didn't want to take a whole session just telling your fortunes.
I want to be big.
And she puts down 5 cards, 5 different tarot cards. Each of them in like a, so it's set up like a plus sign. So it'd be like 3 in a column and 3 horizontal, and they're like perpendicular, right?
Mhm.
So she draws the first card, and she says, or as she flips the first card, you see it is the 3 of stars and is labeled as the Enchanter. And she says, this card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient that will help you better understand your enemy. And she's like waving her hand around that card. Without opening her eyes, she says, seek a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. This second card tells of a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And as she flips over the second card, you see a depiction of a fat fish-like character with a fez hat and stuff, and it says the merchant, and it's labeled as 4 of coins. And she says, seek a cask that once contained the finest wine, of which not a drop remains. Interesting, interesting. This third card is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. And as she flips it over, the card is 6 of swords. And you see on the card itself, looking very familiar, it looks like one of those people you encountered in the woods. This savage-looking Mapach with a stone battle axe, just covered in dirt and matted fur, and it's labeled as Berserker.
Here, I was expecting a celestial kobold holding up a sword.
Find the mad dog's crypt. The sword lies within, beneath the blackened bones. The fourth card sheds light on one who can help you greatly in your battle against darkness. She flips over the fourth card, which is closest to her, the card closest to her, and it is labeled as the Broken One. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. And last but not least, the final card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond immortality. This card will lead you to him! And she dramatically flips the last one, which is the very middle card. And you can see on the card a raptor, one of the hawk folk people, wearing a black hood with the eye holes on it. And it's labeled as the Executioner. And she says, I see a dark figure on the balcony, looking down upon this tortured land with a twisted smile. And that is your fortune, young adventurers. You can heed it or ignore it. I care not. But what I have done for you is what was fated to be.
Wow.
I'll post these for you guys later.
Took notes.
So whose is who?
Well, I already got
That
mine.
is the fortune for everyone here.
So, is she ushering us out? Is she going back to her crystal ball? Are we left to fend in silence? What's going on?
She starts humming, and she starts waving her hand around a crystal ball with her eyes closed, seeming to forget that you're all there.
I think that's our cue to leave.
Better, the spirits need some more monetary encouragement.
Your money is not needed, Saxton. Neither is your aggression.
How? Okay, admittedly, I have to ask. How do you know our names? Who gave them to you?
Oh, I read them. I am a fortune teller. Sweet Nyhm.
She
Right.
called you sweet.
Yeah, obviously she doesn't know me. So, yeah, let's...
Sorry for the politeness.
To be
She
fair, Nyhm
Canadian?
would be more used to...
Well, the
Yeah,
Vistani here are allies of mine. They'd be willing to share wine and stories with you at the bonfire if you wish, or you can go on your merry way.
I look at everybody. I'm like,
What time of day is it?
By now, it's
Yeah.
about it's an early afternoon.
But let's be careful. We don't wanna have to walk the forest at night.
Yeah, it wouldn't be by nighttime by the time we got back to the village, would it?
No, I can get us there within an hour.
Okay.
So was there anywhere else you wanted to go? Did you want to spend some time around here? Because this trip was effectively for... I would point towards Tim-Tam and Hemlock, but I didn't know if you went along with me for us to get just straight to the village for that escort. I'm willing to lead you wherever you wanted to go, so long as we're back to the village before nightfall, or
Oh, yeah.
can set up camp before nightfall.
Well,
we could hang around here with the Vistani, or we could go back to the where the pie maker was. Do you remember her? Oh my god, I would love another pie. Either one.
I think we need to stay away from the pies.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
She seems so sad. I feel like I should have done more for her or something. I don't know.
Everyone is sad here.
You know, you're not wrong.
Speaking of which, fortune teller, why is everyone sad here?
Oh,
we've
you
already-
are in a realm of dread.
Oh.
The longer you stay, the more of the happiness it saps out of you. The more
Oh.
good you are, the more you are of a... I'm starting to
So-
talk like Hemlock.
So
the, more,
Nym's good.
the more you are of a shining beacon in a dark cave filled with many enemies.
Right, and how do we get
Oh.
out here?
It is up to you to find out.
Do
I've
we
given
have, like,
you
a map, or maybe
I've given you the aid that I could.
really?
I have played my part in this story.
You did so well. Thank you so much. Welcome. We are so thankful, aren't we?
The old
Oh, yeah.
the old Bachelor lady smiles, and you can see like she has fangs, they're not as big as Strahd's, but she smiles.
Hey,
Politely but nonchalantly, Nyhm just walks out the tent.
hmm
That was the last straw.
follow suit.
Right, as you leave, you see the Vistani where they were before at the bonfire. Some of them probably are in their tents as well. There's 4 wagons here to...
So, Tim-Tam, Hemlock, did you want to stay the evening with this group? Or did you want to go elsewhere?
We can probably like hang out for a couple hours and then come back.
Yeah,
I
we made
just-
it all this way.
I just want to make sure there's no shinies here that's left unturned.
Yeah. I imagine everything being super shiny here.
everything's
I
very
told-
colorful, yes.
I told you not to get into those mushrooms on the side of the road as we were making our way to the village.
I'm shiny.
So yeah,
Oh.
but basically, I don't want to be the only one steering the party in which way to go, although it kind of seems that's what Nym's doing considering the navigation here. But out of character, you guys tell me where you want to go, because we're in this together.
Yeah, don't worry. At all.
You should know by the Avernus campaign, I worry a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And I will tell you not to worry as many times as it's necessary.
And getting
I
capped a
appreciate
lot.
that.
As you guys are leaving the tent and seem like you're about to part ways, one of the Vistani is like, "Hey, why don't you come join and sing?"
Of course we will. Bring
Yeah.
some wine to my little friend, and I point at Nyhm.
Hey, hey.
I
One of the
almost
ones
already-
that you thought was passed out, his goat arm's like, eh.
I'll take the wine, but I'm retreating to the branches while you dance the night away.
I mean, she whines enough as it is.
She does not whine, thank you very much.
Oh, where are you going, little mouse? You don't need to be scared. And he starts laughing, and the rest of them start laughing.
Nyhm does not care. 15 feet straight up into the trees. She's going to hang out like they were a hammock up in the branches.
Nyhm, if you drink, don't climb. Don't you know the thing?
Learn how to let loose a little.
Tim-Tam from the branches, you hear, what?
Hey, ow.
Learn how to live a little.
Right.
She
You
lives
know-
her own way.
So where's a keg of whatever are you drinking?
Oh, unfortunately, we only got a little bit of this keg left of wine. Business of wine has been not doing its shipments recently. It's kind of worrisome. It's the only source of wine in these lands.
All right, I'll bite.
Oh, not don't bite me. The rest of them laugh.
So, where's the wine shipments come from?
Well, we do like to leave the mists every once in a while. We'll bring some in from there.
Oh, so there is a way out of the mist.
Oh, they can go through it.
Yeah.
We
They
have
Can you
told us
lead
that.
other people from it?
the Lord Strahd has given us permission, for our ancestors helped him in the past, and have remained his friends to this day. He doesn't harm us and lets us come and go as we please. And we have a land that we can call home. If we want. Though we don't stay in one place for too long. That reminds me. Did you know, about a year ago, a mighty wizard came to this land. Looks over at the waterfalls, looking up at them. As you notice, the waterfalls rise up, and then just past that, you can just barely see the castle at the top, at the edge of the ravine, hundreds of feet up above. That mighty wizard stood exactly where you are standing. Points at Hemlock. He was a very charismatic man, he was. Well, a very charismatic folk, because we're in Humblewood. He thought he could rally all the folk of Barovia against the devil's Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt, and bore them into the castle in mass. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground, but they were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to the precipice overlooking the falls, gesturing towards the falls in front of him. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder struck the mountainside. Just then, conveniently, there's a rumble in the distance. And great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard, yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. And when the devil's Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river in search of the wizard's body to see if, he had anything of value. But the river Lluis had already spirited him away.
Wow. What if it's, well, you said, maybe, I don't know. It could be the wizard that Madame Eva was talking about.
Did you get a hold of more pies?
No.
It does make sense. I mean, how often do you have a fortune teller talk to you about a wizard, and like minutes after, a goatman tells you about a powerful wizard that died?
Sure has nothing to do with how they live together.
He was very powerful, but I saw him fall to his death. I doubt he's alive to help you. Perhaps
mean,
Madame
that
Eva
sounds
was
like-
mentioning another wizard.
But you
Yeah.
didn't see a body, so how do you know he died?
I saw it fall into the river, but I couldn't
Sounds
keep
like a
up with
broken
it.
wizard.
I would rather not to drown in the river trying to get fortunes when I could live to find more later.
Yeah.
There's no body. There's nothing saying that they might be still alive somewhere.
Maybe.
I mean, do you know of any other wizard that's gone insane lately here?
No, but I do remember. He was a Strig. You know the Strig are the owl folk.
Yeah.
And for a bird folk to fall, it's saying something.
Well, we are a hefty, mighty race.
Well, he was much shorter than you.
Oh,
He was more
baby.
You know, he was a wizard. You know, he didn't really lift heavy kegs like yourself.
Speaking of which, is that keg coming over anytime soon, or
He offers you his wineskin.
it's a small keg?
We're gonna have to spend the night here because they're getting drunk, aren't we?
Who all drink wine?
I would like
I'll drink
to.
some.
I'll drink.
Okay.
As I wonder if you were a almost dead wizard failure, what will you be?
Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna have him roll an Arcana check on wizards. I believe wizards use a book. I never found one, but if he doesn't have that, probably can't cast spells.
Hmm.
That was a year ago. So, even if he did somehow survive, I highly doubt it was for long without his spells.
Okay.
Do you have any stories for me? Like how you've got that contraption there, pointing at your gun?
Oh, it's, I've always wanted to be also a wizard, but I'm not very good at writing, reading, or learning. I find it very boring.
Writing's overrated.
Yeah, so I
Why write things
decided-
down when you can tell everybody your story instead?
Currently
I'm not good
writing
at
an
talking either. I just really like to grab shiny, powerful stuff, like the stuff wizards use to cast spells, but then just keep adding things to that until I can use it for something.
Ah, I see that you like jewelry and such as well.
If it shines. And it can throw lightning. I like lightning and fire.
Lightning
Fire
is
is
very
super
intimidating.
Yeah, it's
And-
dramatic. I like the touch.
And fire, pointing at the bonfire, is very powerful, yes. It is very warm on cold nights as well. How about you, little Mapach? What do you enjoy?
Oh, I love music and singing and dancing. And I
Hey.
love this wine.
Hey, are you sure you're not Ristani?
she she just lets out a big laugh and says, I don't know, I've never asked.
At this point, we'll say you guys have been at the bonfire doing a college party bonfire thing, and a few of them have gotten up and went to go to the tents, just to actually get some rest, and a few others come out to replace where they were at. You notice that there's always 3 Vistani out that are completely sober, that are not drinking, and they are guarding the wagons. Out of the 4 wagons, 3 of them have Vistani sitting on top of them. They join in the merriment in ways. They sing. I know one of them is the accordion player that you guys have been hearing in the background. So what brings you into these lands? Are you here to try to defeat the devil himself?
Not really, right?
No, I mean, we haven't really thought about it. We kind of just got here.
Well, good. I wouldn't want to make enemies with you. You're such great friends.
Yeah.
All of them are armed with swords, by the way. None of them are threatening to you guys at all. It's just they all have. You just notice they all have swords. What was I gonna say? I'm too drunk. I'm gonna go rest. And he gets up. Whoopsies. And he stumbles over towards the tent.
Maybe we should be heading out too.
Yeah, probably. That would be.
Don't want to hold you all up. I'm sure you're all very tired.
You notice that it's starting to get a little dark.
Nyhm jumps out of the trees. So, are we staying the night, or
Yeah,
are
we
trying to
make it back before nightfall.
Do you think we got time, Nyhm, to go back to the town, city, before night comes?
You guys were
Nyhm-
drinking for a while,
Nyhm, you're pretty sure the sun will set before you guys get there at this point.
even with my speed.
In the next hour, yes.
Yeah. So, to answer the question, no. No, you've spent enough time drinking and dancing that we'd probably be better asking if we can camp here for the night.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
reminds me. Everybody con saves.
I did not drink the wine.
That drink wine.
A natural 20.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
so 24.
19 for me.
Mm-hmm.
12.
And 12. All right. Yeah, you're all just, you're just a little bit buzzed from the wine. You guys didn't overdo it. Anything.
Yeah, worth it.
Hey,
It
you
was
enjoy
good.
your time.
It was good wine. And for the first time you guys have been here, this campment is like the first and not depressing place, really. All things considered.
Oh.
So, do we need to ask somebody if we can set up camp, or do you think they'll mind if we just throw up our tents?
There's
Inside
clear spots where you could set up tents.
Okay. Nyhm would, of course, set up her hammock in the trees where she was already resting. But if it's going to be spent the rest of the night, a hammock would be needed.
Okay. So you guys gonna stay there for the night?
Yeah.
Better here than, being stuck on the road during the night, fool.
Boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
See, it's more concerning when the DM says it after randomly rolling a dice than, reading a chapter out of a book and telling you something.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, somebody died when we did this in Avernus.
Oh, before you guys go to bed, another random Vistani. We'll say this is the Lady Vistani. Says, do you believe in superstitions?
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Do you believe in magic?
We went two completely different directions there, Matt.
Did you though? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you did. Anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a fair question.
I'm just imagining Johnny Depp being like, do you believe in magic? But somehow putting like a Jack Sparrow twist on it.
I just see him doing it with the jar of dirt.
Do
Do
you-
you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
Do you believe in magic? Okay, anyway. So,
What is happening?
I don't know. I'm
Fun.
drunk
Fun
on
is
life.
happening.
We're drunk on life.
Yeah.
Hey, considering the week we've all had, I think everybody deserves a good laugh right about now, and this is the perfect place to get it.
But yeah, I love it. I just
While you're setting up camp, would any of you like to know anything about these lands? We have traveled here quite a bit.
I'm sure no one knows better than you, so I would love to.
Well, thank you. I believe Madame Eva would know better, but she's very picky about who she talks to. One important thing you should know here is you better not die. The souls who die here in Kren's Valley can't escape into the afterlife. They are stuck here in Strahd's domain.
As servants, as vessels, as monstrosities? You gonna be vague there? Just stuck.
Sometimes you can hear them in the winds. Sometimes they pop out of the ground to kill you. And sometimes they possess swords.
Okay, the other two sounded fine. What was that last one?
Well,
Swords.
I heard it the first
I
time.
have heard
was
of
asking for
tales.
confirmation.
I've heard tales of weapons and armor and objects that have been possessed by spirits. I just said sword because I was looking at my sword.
Does that include like things like I don't know, houses?
Hypothetically, yes.
Looks to the group. Houses that have suits of armor that try to kill us?
I mean, the kids tried to possess us like directly. So yeah.
Well, we don't know what the kids were up to, but the suit of armor, on the other hand, we kind of could tell what it was going on when it started swinging.
Ah, you must be talking about Dunhurst Manor in the village.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're not the first group to be welcomed in through that house.
Not the first, and not the last. We've escorted quite a few adventurers here. A lot of them hunting worshippers of Kren.
Well, technically, we will be the last because there's no longer a house.
Folk that have decided to embrace more of their primal instinct and becoming more beast than folk when it is a full moon at night. Many clerics and paladins have willingly gone into these lands, with my people being escorts. None have left.
And through all this time, none of them thought to set the house on fire.
Oh, no, not by the house.
Through these lands. Okay.
They travel in one of our wagons, points at one of the wagon, and then we just go through town.
That would have been so much smarter than what we did. I guess that's what I get for trying to navigate through the unknown lands.
But back on souls. Not all souls rest somewhere. I believe that ravens carry lost souls within them. So killing one would be very bad luck. In the distance.
Ravens give me the creeps.
Oh, they give me the creeps too. Sometimes they just sit there and stare at me, and I'm like, "Are you just looking at the shiny pummel of my sword hilt?" As you notice, it has it's like a brass ball in the end. Or, God damn it, or are they waiting for me to keel over so they can feast on my corpse?
Yeah. They have
Probably both.
Weird faces.
Or maybe they're my long lost great aunt, and they're just trying to look after me. Or who knows?
That's lovely. I'd
Great
like to
bedtime
believe that.
story, by the way.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
you mentioned about the pies earlier.
Oh, no.
Yes?
Yes. You heard that? Okay. Yes.
I do not trust that old lady. She seemed very
Oh.
suspicious. I do not know where she goes at night. But I know sometimes she leaves the village with children, but they never come back.
Oh no. But we can't believe that.
Soylent
Okay.
pies.
Nyhm, put that on the list of things to do, like priority, please.
I believe she stays at the old windmill, not that far away from here. Though it should be avoided at all costs. There are a lot of ravens there. They seem to guard it.
It smells freaking good.
If my theory strings true, I believe the ravens are all the souls of the children she's eaten.
Is there? I mean, you probably can know that, but is there a way to free the souls?
Vistani looks down and drinks some wine.
Oh, okay. Okay, so how do you feel about tomorrow morning going to pay a visit to the windmill?
Who, me?
No, I'm
Oh,
talking
thank
about.
goodness, because I was going to say no.
I mean, you can join if you want.
No, of course not. I'd rather stay with my people.
It makes sense. You're a really cool bunch.
Oh, thank you.
Happiest people I've met in a while. Except Hemlock.
Thank you. Oh.
Okay, so here's a fun picture of Vistani telling stories at the fire.
Oh.
The human versions, anyway. But you can easily depict him as a goat because he's got the beard.
Mm. It's a neat little trick.
Mm-hmm. Hemlock, no, you would know you could do that with like minor illusion or some cantrip like that. Prestidigitation.
I like I do it a little bit of a Mapach just like going through a forest and she's like strumming a guitar
In the fire, like make that shape in the fire.
yeah, in the fire, and then like she falls into the fire. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Does it have sound effects?
It can actually. Are you using minor illusion or something?
Oh, I thought I had minor illusion. I don't.
Do you have prestidigitation?
Yes, I do have prestidigitation.
Okay, prestidigitation. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to stack them. But you could make like sounds instead or something. You only can pick one thing.
You can make the image, but I can make the sound then.
Oh, okay. You guys are gonna make like a little story together, I guess, in the fire. A few of the Vistani actually come over and watch. They are quite entertained. You know what?
Yay.
Both of you can give me a performance check, and the performance is your spell casting modifier. So for Hemlock, it's performance charisma, and for Tim-Tam, it's performance intelligence.
Yeah.
Nine.
15.
Okay. Hemlock, your shapes are kind of hard to see in the fire at some points in the story, but Tim-Tam's noises are spot on. And by the time you guys finish your little story of the little red Mapach going through the woods, that's when you notice that it is definitely completely dark by now. And I would say Nyhm and Saxton have long been done with the setting up camp if they...
We're super rude, not helping.
Little Red Riding Mapach.
Yes. It's what I could come up with, and I was like, this is
No.
a story Hemlock would have heard when she was a kid. Makes
love
sense.
Yeah, I love it.
So... Anyone stay up at the night, or do you just let the Vistani be the guards here? Because you notice that they are on shifts. You've been here long enough hours that you notice that they change up shifts, and the ones that are on watch are not drinking. They are sober.
I trust them, so I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Sorry, I did it again. I am so sorry.
okay.
I do not intend to talk over
No,
you.
I paused. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Nyhm, still not trusting them, is still sleeping in the trees, but would be a little bit more at ease and not take watch.
Okay. I assume everyone else just sleeps in your guys' little camp that you guys set nearby theirs.
Yeah.
Light sleeper in the tree.
You guys are close enough that you're in the low light of the bonfire that they keep going. You know some Vistani just appearing from the woods and disappearing from the woods. They seem to be, some of them bring firewood for the bonfire and some don't. Every once in a while in the middle of the night, you're maybe disrupted by some random drunk stumbling, and it's like, hey, I found a wolf! And they're like, no shit! The woods is filled with them! And they all laugh and stuff. You know. But that'll be like at 3 in the morning or something. They swear. I'm a Vistani, I can say fuck. Vistani are the hashtag yellows of Barovia.
Oh no.
I mean, what, they party and they drink. That's all they do. Oh, and dance. They dance. Oh, okay. So one of them's on the accordion, and you hear him go, "Oh, we can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind." And then a few others join. And if your friends can't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. You're too drunk. Get off that thing. And then one of them grabs the accordion, and they continue trying to sing the song very drunkily. You know, I'll roll disadvantage because they're drunk. It's okay.
I will silently clap from where I play. Yay!
This is while you're trying to sleep.
I know, but she's so enthusiastic all the time. She's like, yay, so good.
Nyhm, at some time in the middle of the night when you're up in your tree, this racket that they're doing, right? It wakes you up at certain points. It's just, it's inevitable, especially with your hearing. But when you open your eyes at one point when you're like sleeping up in the tree, you notice in the tree across from yours a baleful apparition of a squirrel folk, which is like Jerbeen but squirrel, appear sitting on that branch that's level with yours. But its eyes are gone. They're just hollow. There's just no eyes there. And its hollow eyes are dark with anger as it looks at you. And then you blink and you like jostle up because of that, and it's gone. You don't see it. You can hear the partying in the main camp since you're a bit away and in the woods, and the camp's more of a clearing itself. But you swear you can hear like the winds and stuff.
Well, good luck going back to sleep.
Yeah, really.
You head back to sleep. You're not sure how much longer after that, because when you go to sleep, time, relevant. But you're immediately woken up by the sound of a whisper in your ear that says, "No one will ever know you died here." As we roll initiative.
Ooh, did not see that coming.
Okay.
Let me get their stats.
Let me get my initiative. Okay, I got mine.
18 from the owl.
Just so you guys aren't in initiative yet. Actually, you know what? We'll have you guys roll anyway, just so we can keep that in track. 18, you said?
Yep.
There's Saxton. 18. Okay. What did Hemlock get?
I also got 18.
Did Saxton have higher decks? I think you do.
I was 16.
Hemlock, what's your dex?
+2.
Okay, so Saxton's 18 to greater. Tim-Tam, what'd you get?
10.
Ooh, same as last time you rolled initiative. Interesting. Nyhm, what'd you get?
18, and my dex is 17.
Okay, you're the greatest.
Well, I thank you.
There's the greatest, the
smallest.
greater, and the great.
then
And this
there's
thing rolled 18 on the dice.
Are
Oh
you
Oh my
kidding me?
god!
Wait, I need to see if it has any modifiers. I think it does.
Well, I feel very excluded here.
Yeah, it has modifiers, so it goes first.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so it surprised you. So you are surprised in this round. I mean, you can't take any actions.
Until my turn, right?
Yeah. Well, no. When it loops back around. So this thing will be able to do two things. I think the first thing it would do is peer right in front of you. And appearing in front of you is this floating squirrel folk, like ghost apparition. You notice it's wearing full plate armor. And its mouth elongates, and its rodent teeth get really long, and its eyes seem to be voids as it seems like it's almost sucking you in. And I need a wisdom saving throw.
$17.
All right, you are not frightened. And the good news is, I think you're immune to that for the next 24 hours. Yes, you are. So that was the first surprise round. Next round, their lead initiative. And a cat cries in the distance.
Oh no.
And I need a charisma saving throw.
For me?
Yes, as the face moves into you.
That's not great. 19.
All right.
Face moves into me?
Yeah, like its face appeared right in front of you and then just seemed to move forward, like through you.
Ooh.
And then it seems to disappear. Through the tree that you were resting in. And then it is your turn.
Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is look for any other aberrations or hostiles in the area from my perch.
You don't see anything else. You can definitely have within eyesight the rest of the camp. Everyone else is currently asleep. Except for a few Vistani.
Okay. Then I will take my action to hide, to go into stealth, and then use my movement to stay in the trees but move closer to the group to make sure to keep an eye on everybody.
All right, I'll say you hop to like an adjacent tree and you like go up it a little bit to hide. So give me a stealth check.
Yay. Stealth check. 25.
Okay, you're pretty sure you're hidden really well.
I would hope so.
You know what, Saxton, give me a perception check.
What, passive or
No, roll perception.
20? Dirty.
All right. You are awoken by the slight rustling of branches nearby. You are currently prone.
What's going on?
You can see back behind you the camp. They still got the bonfire going. It's actually roaring now. It was kind of calm when you guys got there. And the Vistani are dancing in merriment. They don't seem to really be paying too much attention to you. But you swear you see a figure in the woods disappear behind one of the trees for just a brief moment.
Do I see other people near me? I mean, where's the group at?
You see everybody but Nyhm in your camp, all in their bedrolls, all tucked in, all snuggled, sleeping.
Without raising too much commotion, I jostle them awake and let them know what's going on.
All right, I'll say that was your turn if you're fine with that.
Okay.
Because that's like moving around, poking everybody. So everybody else is awake.
What happened?
It is your turn, Hemlock. You are prone, but you have Saxton over top of you. That's like, hey, something's going on.
Oh, okay.
Shh. We got company.
Not that it matters, I don't think, right now, but I would say you've all had at least a short rest, if needed. I don't think you guys need any of that, though.
I
Saxton's
Look-
clearly looking at the woods.
Okay,
I would say.
I look towards the woods. Do I see like a keyhole on anybody or something?
Roll me a perception check.
Ah. 10.
You don't see anything or hear anything.
Maybe it's nothing. You should just go back to sleep.
Where's Nyhm at?
You all remember Nyhm went up into the tree for the night.
I probably would find it weird that I don't see a keyhole where Nyhm was.
Oh yeah, that's even with 10 perception, and
Yeah.
definitely Saxton with your perception check. Nyhm is nowhere to be found. Like Nyhm, the branch Nyhm was in, was vacant. Nym's bedroll would definitely still be there though.
Oh no. Oh, we should find Nyhm, and that's all I can do. Great. I don't.
You
I
can
mean,
spend half your move to get up, and then do you
Okay,
start moving
yeah.
towards the woods? Okay,
yeah, that's what I'll do.
all right. And then Tim-Tam.
What? I'll just like grab my backpack, throw like an emptied log I have there. It will sprout like spider legs. Stand up and start to move around me. I will stand up and follow the group, like half asleep, as I activate the force ballista and start walking.
Oh wow! So it's like a little mobile crossbow, essentially.
Yeah, it's basically like a log mantis crossbow that's moving. I mean, it has no face, but
Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't need one.
yeah.
So after you, Nyhm, meanwhile, you're like up in the trees, and you are just like remembering, we'll say, a little bit of flashbacks of when you're in the woods and you were part of the bandit coalition, and the bird folk patrols were gliding through the trees trying to find you guys, and you were hiding almost like the same as you are now, and it reminds you of that because this squirrely spirit apparition just floats by, almost gliding like the bird folk patrols did, and it's like it makes like a little bit of a hissing chitter sound of frustration as it attempts to look for you. Poorly. It's not even looking up. You're in the treetops, and it doesn't even look up. It just looks down, and it's like floating. And as you see, it goes like through the trees, like they're not even there.
I love that. Simply for the fact that in all of the horror movies, my one complaint is that they never look up, and now I'm the creature in the woods, in the trees.
You're kind of like a ninja, like the ninja's doing that, like the hanging up on the ceiling thing.
I honestly thought you just said ninja.
Ninja, yeah.
You're the ninja of the group, yeah.
Oh god.
It is your turn as well.
Stealth is stealth. Okay, so
You currently are unknown to this spirit creature.
but it hasn't attacked, correct?
It used its turn looking for you, and it couldn't find you.
Hmm.
It's still in the... You can still see it. It's within a move.
And
Meta-wise, you would get your sneak attack if you tried to hit it.
okay. But it's the only one. Nothing has appeared around any of the others, but the others are awake.
You hear from the camp some people moving towards the woods, and you probably heard Hemlock. But you couldn't really make out what she said because you're kind of in like the heat of the moment, like focusing on this thing more than anything else.
Okay. In that case, I need to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I continue my hide action, do I have to re-roll, or does it stay at the 25?
As long as you stay hidden, that stealth roll stays.
Okay.
However, this thing can keep re-rolling perception as it continues trying to find you.
Right. So then, if I don't have to roll to keep my hide, I can keep it and prepare a hold, an action, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And with that action, I need to specify here, I can still use my reaction so long as I don't use a reaction until the beginning of my next turn, correct?
Yes, I'll say
Or, no, I'm
because
sorry.
you're a rogue.
Mhm.
This is really nice that you can stealth as a bonus action. So that way, that does free your action to hold. Normally, you would be constantly using your action to keep the stealth going, so to speak.
Okay, so,
but yeah, you can hold your attack or whatever. You can ready
Okay,
something,
but I need to be real
and you have a
specific.
reaction. Yes.
Yeah, but I just realized what I was planning requires the bonus action. Is the bonus action used to continue my hiding ability?
Yes. You also can't. No, actually, you can move, but at half speed.
Okay, then.
I'll count that for you because I know you're the one wanting to do more of a jumper. You can only jump like a half the distance while making sure you're staying just as stealthy.
Okay, the jumping part isn't the problem. My problem is jumping in and disengaging like I have in the past. If it
Yeah,
requires
you wouldn't be able to do that.
right, because I'm holding the bonus action to continue my hiding ability.
And you would no longer be stealthed after you attack.
Right. In that case, I will take my advantage and go in for the attack. I will specify to use my bonus action to disengage as soon as I'm done attacking. So coming completely out of stealth to make the attack.
Okay. Roll
Okay.
to hit.
Cool.
As you jump towards him.
Yes. And going to be using my rapier on this one. What is my +2 attack? Is +5, so that is a total of 18 to hit.
You hit. You jump right at him, and the rapier's like this, and you're like a mosquito, just from the tree down to it. The rapier goes through the spirit, and you don't feel any resistance at all. It was like you stabbed the air. However, it did seem to affect it. It does react to it, so you can roll your damage.
Cool. So it's 1d8, and then 1d6 for the sneak. So 1d6 or 2d6?
At your level, I'm not sure. I haven't played a rogue in 5e in forever.
2d6?
Yep, 2d6.
Wonderful. Okay, so rolling that beautiful bean damage, Jerbeen damage. Okay, so that is 7 piercing for the straight damage.
Well, the sneak attack is that same damage type.
The same.
Oh, okay, so it's okay. So 7 initially and 6 for the sneak attack, so 11 piercing damage.
13? 7 plus 6?
13. Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
My math is off. That's not good.
All right. I'll say you like stabbed it in the back, from above, and it like lurched forward, like and its head turns around and looks at you angrily.
Perfect, because as I'm continuing to move, I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage, so that the rest of my movement carries me down to the ground floor.
Yeah, you go straight through it. Then
that works perfectly, so long as it took damage. As soon as Nyhm hits the ground,
you pulled a Kid Goku. Just
nice. As soon as I hit the ground, immediately turn, point with the rapier, and alert the party to the figure.
Yeah, the rest of you then just from the rest of the group's perspective, as that would be the end of your turn, I'm pretty sure, right?
Correct. Action to attack, movement, and bonus action disengage. Yes.
Okay. The rest of you just seeing Nyhm just go flying out of a tree, rapier drawn, and landed and quickly did a 180 and looking upwards. And you can see up in the trees this floating Jerbeen squirrel folk ghost. And it doesn't seem to have eyes. It's just like 2 black holes for eyes. And it like its head was turned around, but then the rest of the body realigned itself to be facing towards Nyhm. And it goes as it is the next person's turn. Saxton is within punching/kicking range.
Oh, is that close?
Yeah, Nyhm was only like 10 feet up in the air.
I mean, we were up in the tree. I thought it was down on the ground.
Yeah, I was up in the trees. I should have been more than 15 feet up because I originally went my full distance to get into the trees. Unless you're saying because of my hide movement, it lowered me closer to the ground.
Okay, I guess it's not within reach.
Sorry.
That's why I want to make sure. How far away is it?
I rolled randomness for the heights of trees. And of course, I rolled max height. So
I mean, that fits for Nyhm, but it doesn't help for...
I would say it's 10 feet above your head, Saxton.
Well, dive.
Dive?
I dive.
You're on the ground currently.
I was in the tree.
Now, you...
Hang on.
I believe Nyhm was the only one that was in the tree, and the rest of you had to camp next to the Vistanis on the ground.
Said I was going to sleep up a tree, but okay.
Well, okay, you hadn't done that yet, so are you going to climb up the tree?
No, I'll go up to him and
Because it's near a
punch him.
tree. You can climb up it and punch it.
The tree or him?
You can climb up the tree and then punch him on this turn, if you'd like.
Okay.
But you can climb the ghost and punch the tree.
I won't even have you roll athletics or anything. You just climb the tree and punch it. Or peck at it, I don't know. It's unarmed strike. It doesn't mean has to be a punch.
At 18 to hit.
18 hits. Would this be a punch, you think?
An unarmed strike, yeah.
Alright, as we'll say, you go to punch it, your fist goes straight through it, but it moves with the punch. So when you hit, you can tell, like, part of its form kind of, like, dissipated for a moment, the part where your arm went through, but then it, like, went to fix itself. You felt a little bit of resistance.
Okay. 5 damage.
Okay.
And I'll use bonus action for Fury of Blows.
Alright. The owl's like, hooah, 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 hooah.
I get a 20 and a 23 to hit.
Both hit. Though this squirrelish spirit wearing full plate looks like full plate, it does not seem to have the same armor helping in the afterlife.
And 13 additional damage.
Okay.
And I need let's see, what is that? Strength saving throw.
Strength save. Oh yeah, I forgot to reroll it for something. 16 on the strength save.
It passes.
Alright, what were you trying to do?
Well, if it failed, it could either get pushed 15 away. If I did a dex, it would get knocked prone. Or I could make it where it couldn't react until my next turn.
Okay. We'll say this was more of like as you were attacking, when you tried to do this, the strength save was more of like you almost like went to fan it, essentially, since it's kind of like the spirit's almost like the wind, but it's able to keep itself balanced and upright and stay where it's at. But it did stumble to that a bit. You did surprise it with that. And is that your turn?
Yes.
Hemlock, it is your turn.
Okay. Eldritch Blast.
Bleh.
It's bleh.
Hemlock's new spell focus is the Strahd doll. Eldritch Blast! And then out of its mouth, bleh!
Oh, okay.
Admittedly, that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
15.
You hit with your Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. Okay. That's a D12. That's not a 10. 8 damage. Yay!
All right. The rest of you see this little cone of force shoot out of Hemlock's hand as she casts Eldritch Blast. And as it hits this spirit, it does not go through it like the rest of your attacks. It actually makes full contact with it. And it's like, ah! And it looks really angry at Hemlock.
Hi. Can I do anything else? Oh, okay.
Tim-Tam.
I will look at the ballista, and the ballista will look at me. I'm like, do your thing, and it will shoot at the ghost.
You hear
Great.
you hear clicks from the internal mechanisms, and it goes like click click, and it like turns around and fires. And you know 2 clicks is yes, and 1 click is no.
Okay.
Wonderful. A
As you
sassy
programmed it.
ballista.
God.
A sassy auto ballista.
Hey, it's been like an uncomfortable like 3 seconds of the thing and I staring at each other like, what are you doing? So that's a 15 to hit.
15 hits. This would be just normal piercing damage, right?
It's force damage.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was actually shooting bolts.
13 force damage.
Okay.
And that was my bonus action. I will actually grab my...
It fires at it,
Oh.
and your what would you say the projectile looks like?
It's actually like a blue glowing arrow. I mean, it's not like super arrow shape, more like a rod.
The glowing blue projectile goes into it and pierces it, and it stays in the entity. And it seems to like become less opaque and more opaque, and it seems to be fading in and out of existence at this point.
And I will grab my staff rifle and shoot a firebolt
Okay.
at it. Oh, I can roll with this thing. 24.
24 hits.
Uh, 10 fire damage.
All right, as you shoot your shot at it, it gets engulfed in flames, but the flames don't seem to stick to it. And your projectile actually phases through it and hits a tree branch, and the leaves on the edge of the branch catch on fire a little bit.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't stick though. Then it is this entity's turn. I think it really doesn't like Hemlock. But it also really wants to kill Nyhm. Decisions.
Kill me. Do it.
That's my secret, Cap. Everybody wants to kill me, apparently.
Odds
Oh, God.
will be Hemlock. Evens will be Nyhm.
And it's Nyhm.
It's Nyhm.
So my disengage carries over, right? It's disadvantage to hit me at this point?
No. No, the disengage makes it so if you would have provoked attack of opportunity while moving, you don't.
Ah, that's right.
Dodge is the action you're thinking of.
It is.
So the ghost draws a greatsword and swings it at you, Nyhm, as it flies over to you.
And it just flew through me, so I get an attack of opportunity.
Yes, you do.
17 to hit.
You hit.
7 damage.
All right. It is still up. And it flies over to you and says, as you see like what appear to be like tears, but instead of water, it's the same like black void, where it's just like silhouettes of the tears coming down its face, and it says, "I'm doing you a mercy," as it swings its sword at you.
Do not tell me you
nat
rolled
20.
another nat 20.
Nat 20. Metal Dice of Doom, folks. Alright. 200. Let's see what we got. 46 on our... Oh, yeah.
Triple
What's
or
that?
max
Crit! Check it out with the Xanathar's Lost Notes and everything else. Available in the
damage.
DM's
Bet
Guild.
It's either triple or max damage.
46? Didn't that thing appear like 6 times already?
It hits you so hard that you're scared of it until your next turn. So pretty much your attacks have disadvantage, and you can't willingly move towards it, which is fine.
1 second here. But when this all started, I was immune to being frightened for 24 hours.
No, but it's that you're immune to that spell or effect.
Yeah, it was
Particular.
you're immune to its that thing it did to you.
I
Not
thought
not
it
this
said
crit.
frightened in general.
No, just that ability specifically.
Okay. Well, I mean, could have been a hell of a lot worse.
What's worst about what probably is what frightened you more than anything is when it went to cut you, you were expecting the coldness of a blade going across you, but instead it feels like it cut into your soul. Should I roll damage or should I go with the average? I'm gonna go with the average. You take 36 necrotic damage.
Thank God we're level 3.
Are you still up?
Nope.
Nyhm falls from... Wait, you're on the ground. Yeah, you just fall. So you fall to the ground.
I got him, you keep fighting. I yell.
Her. But yeah.
I got her, you keep fighting.
Nyhm, on your turn, I need a death saving throw.
Of course you do. Straight D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I counter your nat 20 with my own nat 20.
You are at 1 hit point and prone, but awake.
Holy shit. Does that mean I actually get to take my turn?
No, that was at the end of your turn. The death saves are always at the end of the turn.
Okay.
But you are not dead.
Yay.
I'm just double checking if the Jerbeen have something. I think one of the races have something like you have advantage on death saves or something like that. How many times can I say something? I don't know. Something. Oh no, I'm thinking of your Take Heart ability.
I'm not seeing that.
Ooh. Too bad an ally wasn't within 5 feet of you.
I'm sorry. How many people were around me when I landed?
Well, they were... Hemlock didn't move. She just shot an Eldritch Blast. Tim-Tam just moved up to have the mechanism shoot, and for Tim-Tam to shoot. And Saxton climbed the tree, and you were on the ground.
Okay.
So I would say no one was within 5 feet of you, but the Take Heart ability that the Jerbeen have gives you advantage on strength saving throws and saving throws against being frightened, as long as you're within 5 feet of an ally who is not frightened or incapacitated. It wouldn't have helped you with that crit, because you're just frightened. There was no save. But something to note in the future. So yeah, you're at 1 hit point, and it is Saxton's turn. Saxton, you're well within jumping out of the tree, pile driving distance to this ghost.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Elbow drop.
Saxton, ow! T-pose to insert dominance as you go down.
19 to hit.
You hit. You have that innate glide ability, now I think about it. So you like glide down and then get him. It's pretty nice.
7 from that one.
And with that, you like get it into like a chokehold, and as you get it onto the ground, you feel the resistance of its neck disappear, and the whole thing disappears, and just
Coward.
as you got to 0 hit points. And initiative's done. You all look
Damn, you're
over.
right over there.
You all look over, and there's a Vistani, like at the edge of the camp, watching you guys. And you see that they've taken one of their backpacks, and they're sitting on top of it, and they're just drinking the wine. And they're like, "Wow, that was scary."
Well, yeah, it was.
Go to help him up.
I will. Yeah, I will give Nyhm some potions. Actually, yeah, I will give you 2.
Okay. How much does the potions heal?
They are normal healing potions, correct?
No, it's actually cure wounds. Just
Oh,
twice.
oh, that's 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier twice. Yep,
Yes.
because you did
Which-
it 2 times.
Okay.
I was getting out my fancy potions of healing dice. Got a little too excited.
That's 17.
Ooh, that's nice.
Nice. That almost maxes me out. I'm feeling damn nice. Thank you for that.
It's okay. It tastes awful, actually.
You're right. Tastes horrible, but considering what just happened, I'd rather
Yeah.
taste horrible. I have the taste.
At least you can taste stuff now.
Yeah.
I was
indeed.
gonna say some fun stuff every round you're doing a death save, but you don't see anything. You just blacked out for just a moment, like it cut you in, and suddenly you were on the ground. Anyway, so
Do we risk finishing our rest?
I go up to the Vistani. Do you know what that was? Because that was a little bit creepy.
oh, I believe that was a ghost.
Ghost?
You sure it wasn't a vampire?
Zoinks!
Did it try to suck your blood?
I'm not exactly sure what it tried to do other than slice me in half, and it didn't even leave a scar. It felt like it cut me to my soul.
I don't know. It looked like a lost spirit trapped in this room.
Well,
Lost
I
spirit.
just gave it directions on where to go.
I like your spirit. No pun intended. Now I think about it. Drinks from the wine. Anyway. Maybe... never mind. Goes back to the bonfire.
Yeah, so I need to finish the rest of my rest. So I can
None of
max
you...
up.
Yeah, none of you got your long rest yet.
You don't sleep in the tree anymore.
I was fine until I got out of the trees. I'm going right back up to my bed.
You have to watch out for the trees, especially the ones that speak Vietnamese.
So... on
Nyhm ain't
that-
afraid of no ghost.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
that thing happens again, who you gonna call, right? Us. To fight.
What do you think I did the first time? I wasn't
didn't
trying to
hear
fight it
anything.
myself. I jumped down here with you after I attacked it. Do you
Oh, yeah,
think
yeah,
I'm
then-
honestly stupid enough to try and face something on my own when I've nearly died twice now? And once was to a house?
To be honest, I don't know you enough.
Sorry, that's
Okay,
really
that's-
funny out of context. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I wanted it to be funny. That's kind of the point. Literally nearly died to a house because of your fucking dice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was more hostile than I meant it. I do hate your dice because apparently they want to fucking kill me.
I warned you. I warned you guys. They're deadly.
Yeah, which is why I've asked you politely multiple times not to use them. but you're the DM.
No,
so
I
yes.
mean, what sadly is this campaign?
This is turning into the Avernus campaign again. I'm going to keep getting killed until I get to the point where nothing's going to touch me.
Did you guys hear that?
Mm.
Oof.
Oh, the thunder.
Yeah. See, even the weather's like, nope, you're in Barovia now.
Mm.
Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you need to grow the fuck up. 'cause
Galileo.
There's a lot of things worse
Figaro.
than thunder and lightning out there. So yeah, I would Nyhm would go right back up, maybe take a swig of the wine somewhere along the lines.
Oh yeah, the Vistani are like, you had a near-death experience. Please have some wine.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
As it drizzled it out the hole in her chest.
No,
Yeah.
it cut my soul, not my body. There's a
Here,
difference.
here, have my special concoction of wine. It helps with resisting spirits.
You know what? I'll take the drink.
It's exactly the same as the one you had before, but it has mint in it.
I didn't have wine before.
Or, well, it's minty wine.
So I do have one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If we finish off this rest, will it be a full long rest that we get?
Yes.
Okay, then just on the off chance, I'm going to cast Mage Armor. So if this crap happens again tonight, and then immediately upon the morn, I'm going to cast Mage Armor again. And from now on, I will immediately spend 1 point for Mage Armor every fucking morning.
All right. That might be worth it. In Kren's Valley, it might be worth it.
I honestly took that upon level up for this exact scenario, but I forgot to start mentioning of activation. So I just wanted to be very specific. I'm going to start activating it now.
You all are just getting settled down again. Not even, it's like a half hour after this. And you're like winding down, and then you're finally like starting to be able to close your eyes without thinking about this thing's face that attacked you when you hear howling in the distance. A few minutes pass. You hear howling again from two different wolves, and it's closer to your camp. A few more minutes pass. And I assume none of you are sleeping now. And you see at the tree line, on the opposite side of the encampment, a bunch of glowing eyes that seem to be reflecting the fire from the bonfire. Many sets of eyes, at least 15 sets of wolf eyes, appearing from the woods. They seem to be looking at the camp. One of the Vistani Tip-Top goes like, gives him a friendly gesture. And the wolves seem to pan over to your group, see the Vistani, and you swear the biggest wolf did a slight nod, and they went back into the woods. Eventually, the night calms down for you all, and you wake up a bit later than normal in the morning with a long rest.
Thank you.
So, where do you guys want to go now?
Just to reiterate, upon waking up, Mage
Mhm.
Armor.
Yep.
Just so you know.
So let's go kill a witch.
You know what? After last night, I'm right there with you. Let's go kill the witch.
Which way to the witch?
The witch is at the west windmill. So
It's the Witch of the West.
Which
So
way is the
Nyhm-
west windmill?
it's the Wicked Witch of the West Windmill.
You guys saw the windmill on your way up to Valeki, so I would say them you'd be able to navigate from here.
I would gladly navigate and
God.
expedite it using back roads and my bandit defector ability. I'm in the mood to kill something.
And we're off.
To kill the witch.
You head back, following the bank of the river, to where the dirt road leads back up to that stone bridge, and you cross the stone bridge, and you keep traveling on the path north, where there's the fork in the road, where it has the sign that says Valaki is that this way, Valaki, whatever, and Castle Ravenloft's this way, and Barovia Village is back where you guys came. You
Is it
head to the
pronounced-
left, because that's where the windmill was, and you keep heading that direction until you see the clear spot where there's like a worn offshoot path that isn't part of the main road that leads to this windmill.
Is the city pronounced Wallachia?
Valaki. I was just saying it really quick.
Okay. No. There's something in my memory.
Vallaki. So Vala, like Valhalla,
Yeah.
and then Ki, Valaki. If said really quick.
Wallachia. Anyways, sorry. Something else got into my head, and now I can't. I'm trying to figure out where I've heard the name before. But anyways, yes, to the windmill.
Which windmill?
The Wicked Witch.
I got it.
Oh,
It's the witch windmill.
which meant, yeah, that took me too long. Sorry. Near-death experience and all that.
Alright. The Old Slavic Road transitions here from being a winding path through the Belanok Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into the fog-filled valley, especially in the morning. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town, which you know is Valaki. And you see up north of it is a great lake its water's dark and still. But you take the road leading west instead of north, and atop which is a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. As you
Found
move
it.
closer, the onion-domed edifice leans forward into one side, as though it's trying to turn away from a stormy gray sky. You can see gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior. Perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. It hops and squawks at you, seemingly agitated. As you approach.
Insight on whether it's trying to warn us about what we're doing or to go away.
Sure.
Cool. Where's my insight? There's my insight. I'm thinking with a 3, I can't tell shit.
It's some dumb bird.
Checks out.
Say again?
It checks out.
You're not dumb.
I was about
Oh,
to say, technically that's racist, but against your own bird fold? You know what? Never mind.
It's not the same. Actually, for Humblewood lore, you all know as common knowledge. The bird folk are actually a lesser form, and birds are actually considered a higher form closer to your deities. They're not as smart, but they have the true gift of flight.
That's odd.
Yeah, it
But
is.
fair.
It is.
Callie, real quick, were you trying to say anything a second or two ago? It looked like you may have been muted.
Were you going to talk? Were you going to talk to it?
Muted. I absolutely am. What are you doing?
Yep.
You know me too well.
Oh,
I-
what voice? What voice? Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't speak with animals. It's fine. But I'm going to try to talk to it as Hemlock. So, hi, little birdie. I pull out some rations. Would you like some? And I like hold my hand out like I'm a Disney princess.
Its head turns sideways, so its eyes looking at you. Kind of like preening its feathers every once in a while and looks back at you. Give me an animal handling check. At advantage because you have food.
15.
Okay. It flies down and lands next to you. And just like pitter-patters on its little feet and looks up at you, looking at the food.
I hold my hands out, so okay. get some.
It hops over to you,
Oh.
nibbles a few of them, a few of the crumbs and stuff, looks up at you, continues nibbling on it,
Uh,
and it stays with you for a bit.
oh. You can hop in my head if you want. But
It takes off,
oh, bye.
quickly circles around, and you see it, and it lands on your head.
Oh, friend. See, it's not all bad, Tim-Tam. You just gotta treat all the world with the most kindness that you can.
And it's just like perched on your head, and its head just keeps looking around at
Please tell me
everybody.
it shits on her head. Please tell me it just shits on her head.
No, don't ruin this.
Nyhm?
Hmm?
Maybe you can like sneak snack and check out some windows or something while we do the
You can
Raven thing?
smell pastries coming from the windmill.
Nyhm will gladly slink into the shadows and do exactly that. Start looking in through the windows and seeing what we can see.
As you go to move towards the lighthouse, the raven hops off of Hemlock's head and starts to agitate you. It goes, ah, ah, ah! And it like tries to. Why did I say lighthouse? It's not a lighthouse. The windmill. And it like tries to impede you a bit. Not close enough so you could swipe at it, but it's definitely clearly trying to be between you and the windmill. But if you keep advancing forwards, it flies off away from you.
So obviously the bird doesn't want us, or me, to go any closer.
Um,
So I think extreme caution is required here.
yeah.
It flies off to the north, towards the town.
Well, maybe we'll see it again later.
Roll me just intelligence checks, everybody.
Well, that would be the best case scenario of my nat 1. So total of 2.
It's probably going off to get eaten by wolves.
I've got no problems with that right now.
I got a 17.
Apparently, I really don't care because I got a 0.
What'd you roll on the dice?
You think it's going to get eaten by 2 wolves.
I got a 1, but I have a -1 save.
Nice.
13.
13. Okay, well, 2 of you that got over 10. Remember, hey, that Blue Water Inn where you took Ismark and Irina, the roof on it had a bunch of crows that were just sitting up there. Maybe its home is there. Or maybe it's just going there to get free food. So, you peek inside.
Using stealth, absolutely.
On the bottom, the ground floor, there aren't any windows. There are 2 windows, but they're up a bit.
Okay, I jump to the windows.
All right, as you hop up, give me a perception check.
All right.
As you're just, I like to think, like from the window's perspective, you just see Nym's head just go whoop, whoop, every once in a while.
19.
Inside, you see a haggard, heavy-set old woman with a face as wrinkled as a boiled apple. And she is sweeping the floor. It's that Morgantha lady that you saw in the village. I'll roll perception. She, after your second hop, she looks at you and she waits.
Should that be against my stealth check?
You didn't roll stealth. You said you went up stealthily.
No, I said specifically that I was going into stealth.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay. $18, $7, $25 again?
She looks at you and waits.
So upon landing, I would let
She
them know.
she puts down her broom, and she heads over to the window. And all of you can see her at the window.
Or you can just, talk over me as I start to say something.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, upon landing, I would tell the rest of the party, and she's up there and she waved, so she knows we're here.
Upon seeing Hemlock, you see a little smile come on her face, and she waves at her. And then she disappears from the window. Not quickly, she just turns around and walks out. A few moments later, you can hear the creaking of steps. And she comes down to the main door, and she opens the door. And she said, "Oh, you've come to visit old Morgantha. Did you want more pie, sweetie?"
Maybe later. I hate to bother you. But I heard a nasty rumor, and you know how terrible those rumors are. That maybe I don't know. You sold pies with such good flavor. I can't do this. I can't imagine how good that flavor is in your pies. Could you tell me about them?
Saxton, you or me?
Oh, sure.
Heads or
I
tails?
gather ingredients from all across the valley. My own secret
Whoa.
special recipe.
To answer Saxton,
Hang on.
tails.
You notice her nails are really long. Her claws, whatever you want to. Yeah, she's a hedge, so yeah, her little claws.
I say, well, maybe you could maybe tell me a little bit about us, just us girls. Tell me about it, and I cast Charm Person.
That's a wisdom save, isn't it?
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Hemlock being brave. Just 7.
Yep. She's charmed by me.
Oh, then come in.
Okay. I flash a wink.
Rest
to
of you,
my
stay
friend.
out. Oh,
I'll
but you
see
can come in,
all
Hemlock.
later.
If you remember, some of her teeth are rotted out and stuff. Yeah.
What'd you say, Mav?
Screw you too, lady.
Don't say that to her.
She
Oh,
looks.
no.
She just looks at you. Is bah. Your friends are so rude. And she puts an arm over your shoulder and huddles you in.
Where's the kids?
She does not answer you and shuts the door,
Hey,
taking Hemlock in.
Yeah.
why?
And I
Knocks
think
heavily on the door.
Now I'm
that
grounded because of you.
And
Don't
that
start the party.
is where we'll end it for tonight.
Well, I was going to leave a owl-sized imprint in the door.
Yeah, we can
Just
roll
write it
initiative
down
next
for-
session.
Yeah. Write it down for next.
32.
Sure. So, as we end for tonight, does anyone have any plugs?
We
I
are
guess
awesome. We are awesome. That's the plug.
My plugs will be the same as last week's. Please consider donating to any of the charities and foundations with Black Lives Matter. If you go on blacklivesmatter.com, they have a lot of options for you to choose from. And a lot of them aren't just for paying for bail funds, but they're also for funding for lawyers and such on trying to change the systems systematically, because not all of the police are the problem, but the system they are in is easily exploitable. So donating to any of those would help in the long run to stop actions like what's been happening for the last few weeks from continuing in the future. From either side. And that's all I got. So, if no one else has anything, thank you for watching, and we'll see what happens to Hemlock next time. Bye.